Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Betty Pra, and in this video I will be showing you guys the most optimal and the most optimized keybinds in Apex Legends. If you are excited, then drop a like and subscribe to the channel. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so what I've done here is I've tried to bind all the important keys which you frequently access in such a way that all the keys can easily be pressed at the proper time, leading to faster reaction rates and also smooth movement. As you can see, I've bound my move forward keybind to both W and scroll wheel up. This is because scroll wheel helps you tap strafe way more easily compared to your W key. And also other movement techniques like wall jump and B hopping will also become easier. Your other movement keys, that is move back, left and right, are bound to S, A and D by default respectively. Sprint or toggle zoom is on left shift, again to have easier access while shooting. Changing the zoom is important. As far as sprint goes, my auto sprint is turned on and I recommend having it on for beginners as well, since it won't require you to press another key just to get into the run animation. My jump is bound to mouse scroll wheel down. You can also bind this to scroll wheel up and reverse the move forward keybind if you want. Jumping is one of the major elements in this game, so having it on scroll wheel becomes way easier to execute all your movement techniques. And then crouch I recommend using hold and not toggle, and I use spacebar for this action. Again, this is another very important key regarding movement, so it's bound to space, which I can easily hit with my thumb. Crouch toggle is actually bad, so if you are practicing crouch toggle, I highly suggest that you switch to crouch hold, as this will smoothen your gameplay way more since your character will stand up as soon as you release the key, which is much faster than tapping the key again. Tactical ability is one of the most used keybinds as well. If you know your legend well, you will be using its tactical ability every minute or two, hence it's set to F, which I can easily access with my index finger. My ultimate ability, although lesser used but also very important, is set to left control. My interact key is set to E by default. This is the default interact in most of the games, hence it felt like it was the best here as well. My inventory is set to I and mouse button 4. I personally think it's very hard to reach the I key from your keyboard, and hence I'm using it as a mouse button. Map is set to tab, attack is left click, toggle fire mode is set to N. Notice that this key is quite farther on your keyboard compared to the others. This is because this is very less used and only a few weapons in Apex have the option to toggle the fire mode, and usually you use this feature once or twice per game. Now coming to aim down sight, again here I'm not using toggle, rather I'm using hold. Again the same explanation as crouch, toggle or hold can be applied here. Holding is better since you have way more control and it's set to right click. Next we have melee, it is set to T, but for me T is used as a mouse button as well. If you didn't know, you can change your mouse button to act as a key from your respective mouse software. I might make a video on how to do it later, or you can easily find it on YouTube. It's quite simple to do. Your reload is R again by default. Cycle weapons is one of my most used keys again. It's set to Q, which is easily accessible. Few other important binds are pulling out your weapons. I have one for my weapon 1, 2 for weapon 2, and then 3 to holster your weapons. These binds are also used quite often. Your grenade is set to G. Again, it's an important key. If you are good at the game, you will need to access and use nades in your fights more to block enemies in a doorway or to prevent enemies from hiding and healing during a fight. Your survival item, that is your mobile respawn beacon or your heat shield, is left alt, which you can easily hit with your thumb. Now coming to your healing items, you don't necessarily have to bind all the healing items in the game, but for the best gameplay, instead of selecting and using your items in a wheel, just tapping the appropriate key can help you pull off heals faster. My selected health item is bound to X, syringe is set to 4, medkit is set to 5, shield cell is set to C, shield battery to V, and phoenix kit to B. Character utility action is set to H and inspect weapon set to M. These aren't important binds, you can bind them to whatever seems okay for you. Other important binds for communication include your ping, it's set to default middle mouse button. Push to talk is important, I have it set to mouse button 5, and then message your team in game is by default set to enter key. It's not necessary to bind all the other keybinds as they are not used or they are simply not required. Finally, I want to say that make sure not to change keybinds every day or so. Try my binds, experiment it for like a week, and then make some tweaks to suit you better if necessary. That's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more such content. And as always, take care and see you in the next video.